Hey guys, Mark W. Flockhart with Think Insurance. Today we're going to go through part 2 of the Lemonade review. So I've gotten a lot of people asking me, hey Mark, can you do another review on Lemonade? It's been a year. Have they gotten better? Has their AI gotten better? All of that stuff. So there's some pretty big changes that have happened and some pretty bad changes. So we're going to go through this right now and I'm going to show you guys kind of the customer version of Lemonade. And then after this, I'm going to show you some screenshots because I tried the app on my cell phone and I kind of liked it, kind of hated it. We'll go over that at the end. So those of you that don't want to watch me go through that part, you can skip that. If you just want to watch that part, skip to, I'll try to put a timestamp in here so that you guys can go straight to that. In the meantime, let's go in and let's update the reviews. So let's go over here. I'm going to pull up a brand new browser. We're going to go incognito so it doesn't remember any of my history. And then we're going to just go to Lemonade Insurance Reviews. I've already cheated a little bit ahead. In the last video I didn't, but I've actually gone through several pages of these and I found some pretty interesting facts. So never trust the one from the company because they're only going to skew it towards themselves. 4.8 out of 160 reviews. They probably do have that, but they probably eliminated the companies that were bad reviews, so they don't use those in their calculations. I just seen lots of companies do that in the past. I would just assume any company is going to do that. So let's scroll down. We've got this one here, which these are individuals. So these are like the money under30.com. It just has a 4-star, but there's no number next to it. So I'm not going to count anything that doesn't show a massive amount of reviews. If we go here to Value Penguin, these guys are actually trying to sell you a quote on Lemonade. So it heeds them to give you a good review, but they didn't give a great review. So if you look at this, we'll open that here in just a second. US News, they did a decent review, 4.3. DoeRoller.net, I don't even think I looked at that one. This one was the one that kind of got my eye. So Clear Insurance. Now I'll show you why I like it and why I didn't like it in just a second. And then these guys. So what I did is I actually went a few pages deep because I'm thinking, okay, Lemonade has some money. So how are they getting these reviews? They were kind of like the 3-ish star before. How did they bump up to that 4.5-ish star now? And I'm noticing that a lot of these review companies are completely different. So they may not. I'm not trying. This is the positive version of the video. I'm going to do a negative one. I got to still think critical. So they may have enough money that they're really pushing those reviews, the positive reviews, and they're skewing those numbers because that's really in insurance. That's where you shine the most. I've had personal experience with it, so I've seen how you can skew those. This one, Wallet Hub, okay, 3.3. That one might be something that might be interesting. Millennial Money, they got 9.5 out of 10, but that's just Millennial Money giving them a review. This one's good. So Insurify, that's a great one. So here's the thing I noticed on a lot of these. Value Penguin gave them a pretty low rating, a 3 point whatever, but they actually talk really good about them in the whole thing. So I don't understand why their review was so low, but they did. So they're really good. And I used a lot of information. This was pretty cool that they actually had where their top coverages are and whatnot. And they're really good, not in my area, but they're really good for renters insurance. Let's dig into the next one. So we've got Clear Insurance. These guys gave them almost a 5-star rating. And I actually went through a lot of these. I looked at some of the complaints and there wasn't a whole lot of them. A lot of people are saving tons of money. In all honesty, the result of review-wise, people are loving it. Long story short, as a consumer, I have some really good thoughts against them this time. There's some negative thoughts that I have as well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go through my experience. I actually took the app. I opened up the Lemonade. You can go ahead and download it. I'll put the link down below for you, but you can download the Lemonade app. I had some really good success with it this time. So this time, instead of going on the computer, I actually went on my cell phone and I had this little bot, and I'm going to play that video here at the end. And the bot asked me about 15 questions, maybe less. They went through and it was just texting back and forth. I've seen an Autobot work. This is kind of a perfect version of an Autobot working. So their AI on their end for the responses are really good. A couple of notes that I made, I'm going to go over, and here's what I came up with. 70% of all their customers are under the age of 35. If you're younger, that's kind of the crowd that they're going towards. They're trying to build the trust. The donate to causes, I don't really see the value in that. I love that they're doing it, but once again, I would rather keep the money. If I want to put it into a fund, I would put it into a fund. If I want to donate to Pause for the Cause, whatever their donation thing is, that's great. I feel good that you're doing it, but I still feel like you could just lower my bill instead of giving the money away. Why not just give me a kickback? 90% claims, they'll never switch, which is 1,000% lie. Lie or not, survey or not, I challenge that 100%. I looked at some of these things, and I'm telling you, if your rate goes up, and it tells you, it's kind of cool. It tells you when you're filing a claim that, hey, you're going to see a 15% increase because of this claim. And it's nice to know that ahead of time, where most insurance is the negative is they don't tell you. It just kind of happens, and then your renewal hits, and then surprise, here's a 20% increase. And that's the negative of the insurance industry. They're quick to increase, slow to decrease. In this system, I like the fact that they do that. I don't believe that 90% are going to stay, are loyal to it. They're trying to build a brand, so to speak. So what they're doing is they're focusing on, hey, if we do the best thing for the customer, we only take our salary and don't take extra, and we give all the extra to whatever fund or whatever thing that they get to pick. They feel involved, we feel involved. It's kind of a win-win. Great idea. But at the end of the day, you're going to get fraud. It's just, if you're paying out claims like that, and you'll see here in a minute in the numbers where it's just going to happen. And can you overcome that fraud? I'm thinking they're doing good so far getting customers, but they're losing a lot of money. And we'll save that for another video. This is kind of the positive video. I'm going to link at the end of this, another video that I'm creating, which is going to tell you why I wouldn't invest or join Lemonade. So this is kind of the why. And the thing I liked about them is the ease of use. So me being a normal person, I don't expect to lie on my insurance. I'm going to just tell them straight out what I've got, and I did that on this one, and I'm going to compare it. I liked the way that it brought me through the website. I liked the way that it did it through the app, and then it showed me all of my options. At the very end, it just assumed. So it just said, here's the coverages we think you're supposed to carry. Here's what they are. You can edit them if you want. So if you want to make changes, great. Here's the price. Do you want to buy it? Really simple, straight to the point, straight to the price. And then I got an email later asking if I want to call someone. Now, I didn't call it. I'm assuming there's someone live there, but we'll go a little bit further. As far as an investor goes, the reason you would want to invest in Lemonade, because they've been growing. They're 96% year over year growth. In the last 4 years, they've over doubled. So they've got a massive, they're just everywhere. People are noticing them. They're liking the apps. They're liking the 30% people getting claims taken care of right away within that 3-minute mark where the AI bot, you talk to it, you tell it what you lost. It says, great, 30% of those are approved, paid, done. It's simple. The rest of them, it kind of triggers a fraud warning. So they're like, okay, might not be true. They might be missing something. They might be inflating the prices. So then it digs in a little bit further and it stops them from losing more money. So that's kind of a nice thing. 2018, they had 118,000 customers. Now in 2020, they have 729,000 customers. So that's a lot. That's a big growth. Keep in mind that 64+% loss ratio, so that's a little bit of the negative. They are lowering their loss ratio still. So every year over year, they're lowering the loss ratio. So they're gaining a bunch of customers, lowering the losses. That's good and bad. So it's bad for the customer because they're the ones, well, it's not bad if you're scamming them. They're cutting that out. Their AI bot is collecting data, tweaking the knowledge base and building that. See, if I could partner Lemonade with State Farm, it would be unstoppable because those two, the data that State Farm has and they've collected, could just make Lemonade super powered, steroids, super powerful system that would just go flying. On top of that, the cool part is Lemonade did come out with the renters. Now, when they did the renters, they're really, really, really competitive for renters, especially if you just want the landlord off your back. They are probably, I would fair to say, one of the best companies to get renters through. Partially because you're still got coverage. You're still actually covered for some stuff. But two, it's cheap. I mean, you were talking $5, $10, $15 at max to get renter's insurance. And when you have to buy it anyways and you don't want it, you might as well go through that portion. The other part is they've also seen, because of their AI and all of their knowledge, they've seen kind of a need for pet insurance. So they're saying a lot of our homeowners, a lot of our renters are looking for pet insurance. And this is data. Like these aren't guessing games. A lot of insurance companies, they say, well, we kind of didn't really ask that question, so we didn't really know how many pets there are. They asked me if I have a pet. So they're like, okay, well maybe let's just guess that 80% do, and it's really 50%, right? There's a big gap between there, and they're just going after a product. That's why you don't see them release new products in major companies. These guys have had an AI that's been tracking all of that, and they're like, where's the need? Do we need to increase the jewelry? Do we need to increase the coverage on this, and this? What do we need to do to make sure that we're filling every possible profit area? And they saw a need for pet insurance. And so they've added that as an additional product, actually really well priced. I did a comparison the other day. You might have saw me live. I was playing with it, and I was doing comparison between pet insurances. And the most common one was like $30 to $50 more a month than the Lemonade one. So for pet insurance, awesome. For renter's insurance, awesome. For home insurance, I'm not a big fan, at least personally. I'll show you here in just a moment the one that I went through. But before I do that, I want to let you know I'm actually making a second video because I had a lot of people say that in the last video I was very negative, and I wasn't trying to be. I just didn't like them. It was a bad taste in my mouth. They've gotten 1,000% better as far as the reviews. I couldn't find any negative reviews that were like incremental. So in the majority, they're doing what they're saying as far as claims go. I have all the confidence in the world that they're doing that correctly, but be very, very, very careful when you do these coverages. I'm going to show you here in just a moment the thing I'd have to show it even in this like video. I'm going to show you the thing that I don't like about them, but you can fix that part. So go ahead and watch this video. At the end, I'm going to link the video to the kind of negative review, which is half for investors, half for people that are looking for the actual Lemonade in general. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Hit that like, subscribe to get the notification, turn the bell icon on so you get that notification for that next video. I will see you in the next one. Okay, so we're going to pull up this quote. Maya was the girl that pops on quickly, and I'm going to blur out my information here so you won't see my address. Pretty cool. She said, good morning, we're going to get you started. I'll need your home address. We go ahead and plug it in, and then it's going to do a search for it. Once it pulls it up, it automatically finds a location, so that's pretty cool. It finds my address. I'm assuming that it's going to know a bunch of my information because there was only a few questions that it asks me, and we're going to go through this process. So am I closing on his new home? No, I'm actually just thinking of switching insurance. What type of property is it? It's a house. And then it's going to ask me here, what type of building? So they're asking if it's a condo, a duplex. Mine's a single family. And then is it my primary residence? Yes, that's pretty easy. Who lives in your home? So it's my wife, myself, and my kids. So we're going to answer that one. And she's a little slow, not very slow. It seems slow on here, but it's actually pretty quick. So describe the condition of my house. We've done some renovations on it, so it's in pretty good condition. We're going to put superb here on this one. Okay, great. Did it go any under substantial renovations? So it's like any plumbing, electrical. I actually did about 4 years ago when we bought the house. So we gutted the whole thing and replaced the plumbing, or a little bit of the plumbing, everything. Water heater, stove, you name it. Everything was replaced in this house. It was all original. So we'll say 4 years ago. Go ahead and accept that. And then let's see here. Do you have any of the following? I do have fire alarm and I do have a burglar alarm. So I've got both. So that should give me a small little bit of a discount. And my dog owner, yep, absolutely. Got a little Bashan. Okay, great. Has it ever bit anybody? Nope. Okay, what is your date of birth? Go ahead and put that in. Okay. All right, and then some random, yay, crabs rule. Fun fact, Tyson temporarily lost his boxing license for biting off Holyfield's ear. Okay. I do have a mortgage, so we're going to move on. I do like these quirky things that they do say. That is kind of like a cool thing to kind of relax the conversation or the typing. Let's see here. No claims. So they're asking if I've had any claims in the last 5 years. I'm going to say nope. I have not had a claim in the last 5 years. And I need to put in the last four of my social. They do let you know that it's not going to affect your credit, which they do a soft hit on your credit, so it's not going to affect it at all. So we'll go ahead and put my social security number in there. All right, accepting the terms of service. I'm just going to approve that because I have already read the previous ones on stuff I've read. I've done a quote with them a year ago. I didn't get bombarded with information, so I'm pretty happy about that. Although I do get a lot of random emails that didn't seem like they came from them. I was crunching my numbers. So building age, not great, apparently. I don't know. Building durability, not great, apparently. I don't know what that means. That's kind of sad. Distance to fire close, great. I'm not near fire, near fire station. So that's kind of weird that they put my protection class is what that's called. It seems like they put that high because of the age of the house. And the house was built close to 1987, 88. So yeah, it's older, but we've redone a lot of stuff. So I don't know where it's thinking of that. Structure, it's not replacement cost. It's not $450,000. So we're going to edit that here in just a moment. They're saying a $5,000 deductible, which seems a little bit crazy. Okay, loss of use looks good. Personal liability is way too low, so we'll edit that. I'm going to take some screenshots here so I can show you guys. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's try to lower this down because that $450,000 is way too high. So let's bump that down. I'm going to try to get close to $350,000 and see if I can get it down a little bit lower from that. Okay, $359,000, I'm good with that. Personal property, I'm not worried about. It's not high cost. The liability, this is the gripe I had last time, and this is why I didn't recommend them, because they gave me $100,000 liability, and that's way too low. I don't personally feel anyone should be that low. You should have close to $300,000 or $500,000. Especially if you're a homeowner, you need closer to that $500,000 to protect your assets. Portable electronics, I'm going to bump that up here. I've got like 4 computers in this house, so if not really high end, but if they were stolen, if there's a fire, I would like them replaced. It's probably about $1,000 if you were to rebuild them. So we're going to bump that up to $6,000 because my main computer's better. And then MedPay to others, I like to have that at $5,000. That's actually just in case someone hurts themselves on your property. That way it comes out of that, not the liability portion. Not very high. It doesn't raise the price that much on home ownership. Now the deductible is going to raise it a bunch. I want to have $1,000. That's the most common one. I don't know why they think $5,000 is great. It's a good mental thing to have. If you're going to file a claim, try to stay under $5,000, but you should have the opportunity to file it if it's $1,000. It's just if something happens and you have to have it claimed, you can't out of pocket it. That's what it's for. I'm going to click on a few things, just look at this. So you can add jewelry. You can schedule different things like that. I noticed that there's no water backup, so I definitely want to have at least 10,000. Okay, and that's not even enough, but that's enough at least to get you by and get you replenished and cleaned and start building your walls back up without you having to actually physically do it yourself. Okay, so this is just what's covered. That's great. It just kind of goes over some descriptions. Kind of like they call them named perils. These are the perils that they're naming on here. And let's go ahead and see what the new price is. $252. Good Lord. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. I am currently paying less than $1,000 a year. I think I'm paying like $800, almost $900. And they want over $2,500 a year. Let's see. That is $3,024 plus per year. That's ridiculous. Like that's not even 9, 18, 27. That's almost 4 times the price that I pay now. So I don't get that part. Like maybe the age of my building, maybe my credit's horrible, which has never been great. So I'm not going to lie there. Yeah, I don't know where they're coming up with that number. That seems a little bit crazy. So here's basically the copy that they downloaded. So there you have it. That's the home portion. That's where you're going through the quote. I did do another one where I kind of went in and played with it. I can tell you the renters is cheap. So if you're looking for renters, definitely 100% go through Lemonade to get a quote at least and see what it is. I'll put the link below. That way you can go right to it, or just go to lemonade.com. It doesn't matter. And then download their app, or just do it on their website. But really good with that. In Michigan, where I'm at, in my situation, they were almost 4 times the price for my house. On top of that, the thing that I don't like about them, and I'm going to say this in my positive video, I'm sorry, is they give me that $100,000 liability right off the bat. They give me a $5,000 deductible. And to the untrained eye, you're not a salesperson. You don't understand this. You don't have, an AI doesn't have a conscience. The company, the guy that made it, may or may not, it doesn't seem like they understand, like the $400,000 house shouldn't have a $100,000 liability, right? They put my house at $400,000 something. There's a good chance I paid off 20% or 30% of that, which puts me at a higher risk than $100,000 with all of the other assets I should have. So they're really not doing anyone a service by offering a $100,000 liability. They're not giving me any water backup, which is the number one claim. Water backup, anything water related, is the biggest reason people file claims. So they're cutting that out. They're being a little bit tricky, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat that. I don't like that about Lemonade. Now, that being said, if they were competitive, me being an agent, knowing what coverages I should have, knowing what deductibles I like, knowing what I need to have, and don't go by your current deck page, because that agent may not have done it well either. But there's a lot of things in there that really get me heated when I see these numbers, because it's you guys that are buying this. You don't, or may not know what you're buying. You just see that cheap price. In my case, not. So that's my sub warning. My only thing I don't like about Lemonade, I like them as a company. I like their reviews. I like their seamless process. I like their quirkiness. I kind of like that they donate. I'd rather take the money and put it in my pocket and then choose to donate if I want. But I also like the claims system, their growth, how well they are at paying claims right now, because that was the number one complaint in my last video. I'll link that video up here. But that was the number one complaint there, that the claims weren't being paid or processed properly. And we knew that going forward because they were turning their claims into an in-house instead of they outsourced it at the time. And they were pulling that in-house where they handled it themselves. Well, now you can talk to a live person. So that process has gotten a lot easier, which is the biggest thing that we had a problem with, apart from them honestly ripping you off coverage-wise. That's the only major piece that if you get the right commitment and if you get the right agent to help you walk through this process to tell you what you should carry, or at least kind of give you an idea what you should carry. I've got other videos, I'll link them all over, that you can watch about homeowners insurance. So if you need to see what those coverages mean, I've got an actual a video that goes over that. But I'm also lastly going to link the next main video for Lemonade. So it may be a couple days after this, but I'm going to do my negatives. This is more kind of so an investor can see the things that I hate about them. And there are some things besides these coverages that I think investment-wise, Lemonade is a bad choice. So until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. Have a great one.